The situation surrounding newjeans is spiraling into one of the most reckless and ill-advised moves in recent K-pop history. What initially seemed like a contract dispute has now turned into an all-out war involving legal battles, political interference, and blatant misinformation. Korean entertainment lawyers have already pointed out the risks newjeans is facing. And frankly, they're absolutely right. Korean legal experts have raised serious concerns that newjeans' recent actions could fall under copyright and trademark infringement, making their situation far riskier than a simple contract dispute. Attorney Go Sang-rok from law firm Pill has explicitly stated that ADOR holds the full legal rights to the newjeans trademark, meaning that the members cannot legally claim ownership or continue their careers in a way that capitalizes on the brand built under ADOR. The biggest mistake newjeans team seems to be making is assuming that renaming themselves as NJZ is enough to sidestep legal consequences. If the name is still too similar to newjeans, and if their branding, music style, or public image still closely align with what ADOR created, then Hybe can and likely will argue that this is a clear-cut case of intellectual property theft. The entertainment industry is ruthless when it comes to protecting trademarks. Major agencies have taken legal action over far less. If newjeans' legal team is underestimating the weight of this issue, they're walking straight into a career-ending disaster. But the trademark dispute is only one part of the problem. Attorneys Jin Bo-ra and Yoon Jong-chai have also pointed out that newjeans' decision to continue promoting independently while their contracts are still in dispute puts them at risk of breaching exclusive contract clauses. If their contracts are still legally valid, which ADOR argues they are, then any attempt to work outside of ADOR's control is a direct contract violation. This could lead to not just financial penalties, but also a potential legal injunction preventing them from working at all until the case is resolved. Worse still, if NJZ is found to have used any intellectual property associated with newjeans, whether it's old choreography, signature styling, or even indirect branding elements, HYBE has the legal grounds to escalate this into a full-scale copyright infringement lawsuit. Newjeans' reckless approach isn't just burning bridges, it's actively setting themselves up for legal ruin. If they lose this battle, they won't just lose their name. They might lose the ability to perform altogether. Hanni's visa situation has been twisted into a sensationalized controversy, but when you strip away the noise, the facts tell a very different story. ADOR had already prepared all necessary documents for her visa renewal, yet she refused to sign them, essentially creating a crisis where there didn't need to be one. The claim that ADOR was using her visa status as a weapon is deeply misleading. Visa renewals for foreign idols are routine, and agencies handle them all the time without incident. If ADOR really wanted to pressure her, they could have simply refused to process her visa at all, rather than making the effort to ensure she could stay. Instead, Hanni's team deliberately let the situation escalate, knowing full well that without proper documentation, she would face potential legal consequences. This wasn't ADOR's doing, it was a choice made by Hanni and those advising her. And now they are scrambling to shift the blame. But things went from bad to worse when Democratic Party lawmaker Park Ji-won stepped in and pulled political strings to get her a new visa. This is not just a case of a politician helping out. It's a blatant abuse of power that raises serious ethical concerns. Why was a sitting lawmaker involved in a celebrity's personal immigration issues? Does this mean foreign idols with the right political connections can now bypass the system while others are left struggling? Immigration laws are meant to be applied fairly and consistently, yet here we have a politician intervening in an entertainment dispute, making Hanni the beneficiary of political favoritism. The public backlash is completely justified because this move undermines trust in the system, because this also raises serious questions about who is really pulling the strings behind NJZ's decisions. The latest twist in newjeans' ongoing saga comes from their parents threatening legal action against TenAsia over claims that the group was signing with Bana, according to TenAsia's report. While no official contract had been signed, Bana was already handling newjeans' press-related activities, implying that a management transition was already underway. The parents, however, were quick to shut this down, calling the report completely false and baseless and announcing plans to sue both the outlet and the journalist, Lee Min-kyung. On the surface, it seems like a strong response to protect newjeans' reputation. But let's take a step back. Is this really about false reporting? Or is it about controlling the narrative? This isn't just about TenAsia publishing a speculative article. This is about newjeans' parents being in full damage control mode. The group is in the middle of an industry-shaking legal battle. Their rebranding has been widely criticized, and now a political controversy has dragged them even further into the spotlight. If NJZ is indeed in discussions with Bana or any company, that would raise serious questions about whether they had a new agency lined up before even officially leaving ADOR, which could hurt their legal case. Instead of simply issuing a statement denying the claims, they immediately jumped to legal threats, which feels more like an attempt to intimidate the press into silence than a genuine correction of misinformation. The irony, if this really was false information, they could have just ignored it. But by making such a big deal out of it, they're only drawing more attention to the possibility that TenAsia was onto something. Legally, newjeans' position is becoming increasingly unstable. Their case against ADOR now raises more copyright concerns than contract violations, weakening their claims. The Hanni visa controversy has drawn political backlash, further complicating their public image. Meanwhile, their parents' legal threats against TenAsia suggest an attempt to suppress unfavorable reporting rather than address legitimate concerns. Instead of following a clear legal strategy, newjeans' team appears reactionary and uncoordinated, which could harm their credibility in both court and public opinion. Without a more measured and legally sound approach, they risk losing both their case and public trust.